Good day, everyone. Welcome to the sixth topic of this course. This is Digital Platforms, Cloud, and Modern EA. Before we proceed, let's have a short recap of what we have discussed last meeting. Last meeting, we have learned about the four operational models: the diversification, coordination, replication, and unification. Also, we have learned about the mixed operational models in modern enterprises, the EA's role in enabling operational models, and the challenges in EA implementation. Also, we had our performance task, the Model Wars, which was a quiz bowl game. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Today, let's talk about centralized versus cloud-based enterprise systems, the platforms, shared devices, and APIs, the data integration and interoperability, the risks, limitations, and decision. Our objectives for today are: explain the role of cloud and digital platforms in modern enterprises, analyze how systems and platforms support organizational integration, and describe the risks and considerations in adopting cloud-based enterprise solutions. In today's digital organizations, success is no longer determined by how many systems an organization owns, but by how well those systems are connected, scalable, and able to support changing business needs. Today's lesson explores how enterprise architecture evolves through digital platforms and cloud computing, and how organizations make careful decisions, not hype-driven ones, when modernizing enterprise systems. Before we discuss modern enterprise architecture, we need a shared understanding of several foundational terms. So let's review the key concept of what an enterprise system is, what is a centralized system, and a cloud-based system. Enterprise system is a large integrated software platform used across entire organization to manage core processes such as enrollment, finance, HR, or supply chain. Unlike small applications, enterprise systems serve multiple departments and require coordination across the organization. A centralized systems means computing resources and data are controlled in a single internal environment, usually inside the organization's data center, and the organization fully manages hardware, software, and maintenance. So, what is a centralized enterprise system? A centralized system or centralized enterprise system means everything is controlled and stored in one main place, one server, one database, one authority managing all operations. Think of it as a single brain controlling the entire organization. So let's take a look at this example. All student records are stored in one office computer. If that computer shuts down, nobody can access grades or enrollment data. Every department must request information from that same office, which is centralized. And another analogy is a centralized system is like a main water tank supplying water to all houses. If the tank stops working, everyone loses its water. So what is a cloud-based system? Cloud computing allows organizations to access servers, storage, and applications through the internet instead of owning physical infrastructure. A cloud-based system stores and runs applications on the internet instead of inside the company building. You don't own the server. You rent computing power online. Think of it this way. Instead of saving your files on your laptop, you use Google Drive or OneDrive or Dropbox that you can access this file anywhere through your phone, through your laptop, or another computer. Okay, now that we understand the foundation, let's examine how enterprise systems evolved from centralized environments into the modern digital platform. Before that, let's have a brief comparison between decentralized and cloud-based enterprise systems. Traditionally, organizations invested heavily in physical servers. So, momon jud na siya no before. Ug mao na siya traditional nga way. Enterprise architecture focused on controlling infrastructure and ensuring system stability. The problem appears during peak usage. So, dire na magka-problem. For example, during sa enrollment period, naman siya overload of request, di ba? So, because of that, lag ang server because the capacity is fixed. Unlike computing cloud, resources scale automatically depending on the demand. Enterprise architects now design service availability rather than physical infrastructure. So, let's take a look at this table in our screen. So, centralized, it is an owned server. So, there is a physical server. Si cloud-based is provider infrastructure. So, internet-based, yeah. Sa centralized is fixed ang iyang capacity. Kung unsa ang inyong i-purchase nga storage or capacity, maora gid na siya. Unlike ang cloud, it is scalable. So, pasabot, pwede siya ma-expand. Centralized is high upfront cost because of course you need to buy physical servers, whereas si cloud-based is pay as you use. So, mubayad lang ka kung mugamit na ka. Si centralized is manual upgrades, of course, mano-manohan mo siya update, whereas si cloud-based is automated. Okay, let's take a look at this real-life example. I believe you're familiar or you have heard of this acronym AWS. So, si Netflix, nag-migrate na siya sa iyahang mga data kang AWS. So, what is this AWS and how does it work? So, si AWS or the Amazon Web Services is a comprehensive cloud-based platform offering computing power, storage, and databases on a pay-as-you-go basis. It operates via global data centers, enabling businesses to scale infrastructure instantly. So imagine, kung gusto ka mag-expand, they can do that or they can provide it instantly. Netflix migrated to AWS, which completed in the year 2016 to gain unlimited scalability, improve reliability, and handle rapid global growth, moving away from rigid, failing on-premises data. So how does it work? Paunsa man day mag-work si AWS? So instead of purchasing and maintaining physical servers, they rent the virtual infrastructure. So si AWS siya na mag-handle sa maintenance, sa security, sa physical hardware, allowing companies to deploy applications and store data in seconds. Core service gyud ni AWS is that nag-include siya og Elastic Compute Cloud, which is what we call the EC2 for computing. And for the storage, na sila S3 or the simple storage service and the various relational or the NoSQL database. So before the iClass, before nag-migrate si Netflix kang AWS, nag-rely lang siya sa monolithic architecture, which is anchored by a massive self-managed Oracle relational database running in its own traditional data centers. The primary disadvantage of a monolithic architecture is that it creates a single point of failure. Unsay pasabot ani? Pasabot kung naalay mag-crash or naalay gamay nga error or bug sa ilang system, everything goes blackout. As in, mawala tanan or mag-crash yun ang tibuok system entirely. So, ang disadvantage po ani no, kay malimit ang ilang scalability. Like, kung gusto sila mag-expand, dili dayon nila mabuhat. Kay kinahanglan nila i-replicate ang entire system to handle a spike in one specific feature, which leads to inefficiency. Furthermore, monolithic suffer from slow deployment cycles and technological debt because any small update requires rebuilding and testing the entire system. So, grabe ka trabahoso gid siya, no? So, in simple terms, Monolithic architecture is like a single giant nga bulb. So kung nakay bulb sa imong balay, isa ra gyud imong bulb no, wala na kay laing suga. So pag mapalong si bulb, ngit-ngit jud kayo imuhang balay. So yung anang idea niya no sa monolithic architecture. That is why nag-migrate na si Netflix kang house. So here are the reasons why Netflix migrated its data to ours. Number one is scalability. As what I have mentioned earlier, if we will talk about expansion, dali ra kaayo kang ours, no? They can provide it in a matter of seconds. The second one is reliable and disaster recovery. Pasabot ani, namo ko'y nahitabo sa ilaha in 2008, a major database corruption shut down their DVD shipping for 3 days. So imagine no, 3 days ra na siya pero dako na gyud na nga loss sa ilahang income. They needed a highly redundant infrastructure to avoid a single point of failure since monolithic rabi ang ilahang koan architecture. So in terms of global reach, AO's multiple worldwide regions allow Netflix to store and stream content closer to users, reducing latency and providing better performance in over 190 countries. So, yung ana siya ka-advantageous. Next one is the focus on development. By outsourcing infrastructure management to AOS, Netflix engineers could focus on improving the streaming application users' experience and content delivery rather than maintaining the hardware. Lastly, modernizing architecture, because this shift supported Netflix move from a monolithic system to a microservice architecture, which improved speed and enabled faster independent deployment of their features. Okay, so let's talk about the digital platforms, shared services, and API. So modern enterprises operate using platforms. A platform provides shared capabilities used across departments. Instead of multiple login systems, one authentication service supports all applications. APIs allow systems to communicate automatically. Think of API as a digital bridges that enable exchange without manual coding. So, nata example diri. So, a great example of this one is the GCash ecosystem connecting merchants, banks, and users via API. So, unsa man gyud ni si API? Si API or the Application Programming Interface is a set of rules and protocols that allows different software applications to communicate and exchange data with each other. It acts as a messenger or a middleman, taking requests from one application and delivering the response from a server back to the initial application without the user needing to see the internal workings. So si GCash, na siya mga APIs, no, various APIs nga ginagamit. Example, ani kay si JavaScript API for its mini programming environment, partner API. So multiple APIs. Now, one of that is the JavaScript API for their mini programming. Okay, so let's proceed with data integration and on interoperability. Organizations often believe that technology is their problem, but the real issue is fragmented data. Data integration ensures systems share consistent information. Interoperability allows different technologies to communicate despite differences. Enterprise architecture defines standards so data flows across applications reliably. So ato ning isa-isahon why integration matters. So let's start with a single source of truth. Kasi pasabot ani. This means that there is only one official and trusted version of the data used by everyone in the organization. Imagine a school where the registrar has one student record and accounting has another version and the department office has another different list. So dili magmatch no. So there will be inconsistency sa data so may mahitabo. Mag-complain ang mga students because of inconsistency. Next one is the data consistency. Unsa man pud ni siya? This means that information stays accurate and identical across systems Example, a sales system records an item sold. So, inventory system should automatically reduce the stock. 'Di ba? So, kung naay 10 ka buok, for example, naay 10 ka sudlay ang inyong gibaligya. So, pag nanay mo palit or makuha og isa, dapat mo reduce siya automatically. So, kung dili siya integrated, sa may mahitabo, ang dituan mo reflect sa inyong inventory or sa original ninyong account kay 10 gihapon, dili siya makuha og 9. So, ang disadvantage ana no kung mag-inventory na pud mo, dili ninyo mabalaan kung pila gyud ang accurate nga number or digits na inyong need i-purchase balik. So, integration prevents mismatch information. Once data changes in one place, it updates everywhere automatically. Next one is interoperability. So, may pasabot ana. So, different systems can work together even if they were built differently. They don't need to be identical. They just need to communicate. Okay. Another example aning nga makarelate ang tanan is the banking apps, online shopping platforms. Bisan paglahi-lahi sila og build, pero di ba kung magbayad ka through your bank, pwede kaayo siya. It's because the systems can communicate well. So, interoperability allows systems from different vendors or departments to cooperate instead of operating in isolation. So, muna nakanindot no kung integrated ang imong mga system or imong data. Last, we have the real-time decision making. Managers can make decisions immediately using live data, not outdated reports. Example, a restaurant owner checks a dashboard. For today's sale, mo ni siya. Natay 50,000 nga sale. So, unsa may mga fast-selling menu items for today. So, dapat makita na niya dito real time. So, makadecide na rin siya, okay, for every Sunday di ay or every Saturday, dapat kani nga meal ang gina-serve or daghanon og prepare. So, muna nakanindot no kay ikaw ang owner na nakay decision making dayan because you have the data na nga real time. Integration transforms data into a real-time insight, allowing organizations to react quickly instead of guessing. So, may nakanindot no if integrated ang inyong system. Now, after discussing how powerful cloud platforms are, we need to understand something very important. Enterprise architecture is not about chasing trends. Moving to the cloud is not automatically good. Nganuman, because every technology decision comes with risks, limitations, and trade-offs. So, bisan pag-unsa kanindot og daghay advantage ni cloud, naa gihapon siya risk. So, unsa man tong mga risk ni cloud? Number one is the security and privacy risk. When systems move to the cloud, your data is no longer stored inside your own building. Okay. Think about that. Kung imo na siyang i-transfer, wala na siya, dili na siya exclusive para sa imuha. Instead, it is stored in a data center managed by another company. That means organization must trust a third party to protect sensitive information. So, isa na no sa pinakadako nga disadvantage ang security and privacy. Imagine, for example, you store all university students' records, grades, personal details, payments sa usa ka external service gawas sa inyong campus or gawas sa school. If security settings are misconfigured, data exposure can happen even without hacking. So, grabe ka delikado, no? Many breaches happen not because the cloud is unsafe, but because organizations configure it incorrectly. So, misconfigured cloud storage exposed millions of records in several organizations globally. Even large companies like Capital One experienced cloud-related breaches caused by configuration errors. So, all in all, cloud providers secure the infrastructure, but organizations are responsible for how they use it. This is called the shared responsibility model. So, isa na siya sa i-consider, no, kung mag-adopt mo sa cloud. Number 2 is vendor lock-in. So, pasabot anong vendor lock-in. So it happens when an organization becomes too dependent on one cloud provider's tools and services. Once deeply integrated, moving to another provider becomes difficult, expensive, and sometimes nearly impossible. So example, it's like storing all your files in one ecosystem with unique file formats, and then pag transfer nimo, everything becomes complicated. For example, if a university builds all systems using one cloud provider proprietary tools, migrating later may require rebuilding applications. Grabe, otrohon na pud no? Ang katong mga applications nga imong i-migrate, data migration costs increase, training staff again because of course lahi na pud ang iyang template or format. So enterprise architects must design system that remain flexible and avoid overdependency on a single vendor. Next one is cost management. One of the common challenges or misconception, students often think cloud automatically means cheaper. In reality, cloud shifts spending from capital expense to operational expense. You only pay for what you use, but if usage is not controlled, your costs grow silently. Think of a mobile data plans. So, small usage siya, no? Kaya affordable ra siya, continuous streaming, and then wala ka kabantay nga nagkadako ang imuhang bill. Same with cloud. Kung sa imong storage, sa imong data transfer, computing power during peak periods. So, for example, another example, no, kay many companies initially reduced cost but later experienced higher bills due to unused virtual machines, always running services, and poor monitoring. So, cloud requires financial governance gihapon, not just technical deployment. Second to the last one na risk is the connectivity dependency. Since cloud system requires stable internet access, if internet connectivity fails, system access may also fail. So, muna siya isa sa pinakasuliranin no or dagok sa cloud. Pag walay internet, walay pulos ang cloud. Dapat stable and strong ang imong internet connection. So, for example, enrollment day, tapos internet outage. So, entire system, no, dili ma-access. So, dili nimo ma-input ang imuhang mga data nga dapat i-input sa system. So, walay transaction anang adlaw. Sayang gip, di ba? Ang adlaw ug ang panahon. So, organizations sometimes adopt hybrid cloud to balance reliability. So, naay mga kanang company nga dili gyud fully mag-rely sa cloud no, naagi hapon sila servers or physical servers. Lastly is the legacy system. Saan yung legacy system? These are old software that's still needed for operation. They cannot connect easily to cloud systems, use outdated technologies, kay nag-lack sila API support. Example ani kay trying to connect an old printer that only supports USB to a wireless only laptop. So nga na siya, example na siya. So sa organization nga situation, some departments rely on specialized systems developed years ago. Replacing them immediately is risky because they have to rebuild the cost, the time, and the money. So, in EA's reality, digital transformation is gradual, not instant. Enterprise architects must plan phased migration, integration layers, and coexistence strategies. Okay, before we end, I want you to step back and look at the bigger picture of everything we discussed today. So, si modern EA is not about cloud computing, APIs, or digital platforms individually. Those are only tools. What truly matters is how business goals, data, applications, and technology work together as one coordinated system. An organization may invest in the most advanced cloud platform, but if business process remain fragmented, data remains inconsistent, or applications cannot communicate, digital transformation will fail. Technology alone cannot solve organizational problems. Think of enterprise architecture like building a modern city, where here, business strategy or business architecture defines what the city needs. So, kung sa school or sa hospital, transportation, ano sa may pinaka-need dira ah. And here, sa data architecture ensures everyone uses the same maps and information. Whereas here, sa application and platforms, it builds the services people interact with daily. And sa technology or sa cloud infrastructure, technology architecture provides the road, electricity, and infrastructure that keep everything running. If one part is poorly designed, the entire city will struggle. This is why modern enterprises focus on integrated digital platforms. Cloud computing enables scalability, platforms enable collaboration, and integration connects systems. But enterprise architecture ensures all of these decisions support strategy, not just innovation trends. So the real lesson today is digital transformation succeeds not because organizations adopt new technology, but because they align technology with people, processes, and data. Enterprise architecture provides that alignment. In short, enterprise architecture turns technology investment into real organizational value. Okay, that ends our discussion for today. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you on the next video lecture.